What is going on, everybody? It's your boy AZ, and for today I decided to go back to doing anime/manga reviews. I decided to make them more about the individual chapters and or episodes as opposed to the entire series, to make it easier on myself, basically. For today we got One Piece chapter 1031. Immediately here for the cover spread, you see we have the right-hand men of some of the most influential figures in One Piece. You have the Pirate King's right-hand man Rayleigh, you have Ben Beckman, you have King, Katakuri, Killer, Marco, Beppo, Shiryu, I believe, Sabo, and of course, the future Pirate King's right-hand man, Zoro. Now, I may be reading too much into this, but I do believe that this is foreshadowing that something important will happen with Zoro next chapter, or so. The fact that they're showing us all of these right-hand men, vice captains, whatever you want to call them, I believe hints that something major will go down with Zoro. Maybe some type of awakening, even though he's already awakened once this arc. But maybe this time it will be like a full-on awakening, not just one attack. We've seen him use the Demon Ashura move, but maybe this time he'll be able to focus his Conqueror's Haki into doing multiple attacks. We pick up where we left off, seeing the aftermath of Law and Kid's awakened devil fruits. It seems that Big Mom is defeated, and Law and Kid give in to their fatigue. Here, Law questions Kid about how his awakened devil fruit actually works. As we can see, his awakened devil fruit allows him to assign his powers onto other people. Here, Law asked how long it lasts. Unfortunately, we got no answer from Kid, trying to be wary from potential enemies in the future. I'm sure no one really thought she'd stay down, but Big Mom starts getting up, and people are in disbelief. With a menacing atmosphere, Big Mom gets up and uses her devil fruit in a way that guarantees her to steal souls from these people. It seems that Big Mom revives the steel bars that Kid used against her. Now, something interesting is that Big Mom used 1 year of her own lifespan, and she mentioned here that she can't rely on the weak souls of this riffraff. This obviously means that her own soul's power is greatly superior to any other soul, or should I say any random soul. Now this is very interesting. It seems here that she consumed her lifespan. I'm not too sure if I got that wrong, maybe not, maybe I did, but that caused her to get even bigger. And she says here that she hasn't felt pain like this in decades. And then she also says that she'll show them what it means to be an emperor, goading them on to try and attack her again. Of course, instead of intimidating them, this actually riles up both Law and Kid, causing them to steel themselves and remind themselves what their goals are. Meanwhile, Apu and Drake have been fighting, and Drake seems to figure out Apu's techniques. He explained them here, and then Apu retaliates by saying whatever, that he doesn't care, and that he thinks it won't matter. Just then, Yamato barges into the room. Yamato questions why one of the Flying Six is fighting an informant. Hearing that, Apu tries to take advantage of the situation and tries to get Yamato over on his side. Of course, Yamato's having none of it, and instead decides to attack Drake. Thankfully, Drake didn't wait too long to let her know that he's abandoned Kaido too. They show us Nico Robin and Brook back on the second floor. Brook takes Nico Robin and then says that he recognizes the elites of CPO, the masked agents. Sanji finds himself in the pleasure hall being berated and attacked by some hidden ladies. He is shocked to think that he could ever harm a girl, but the victim is right there in front of him crying. He firmly believes that he would never harm a lady, and remembers the time in which he confronted his siblings. Queen finds Sanji and starts talking to him, but Sanji isn't even listening. Instead, all he can think about is the incident that just happened, and how it seems utterly unbelievable for him to do it. However, he does start remembering fragments of what happened. Deep in thought, Sanji questions which version of him would be ideal for Luffy. He goes on to state that he has two sides, the human side, which is useless against female enemies, and the soldier of science, a cold-blooded machine that is able to execute anyone ordered to. He then asks what kind of person the Pirate King needs by his side, before declaring that he's made up his mind. I think it's worth mentioning here that Sanji refers to Luffy as both Luffy and the Pirate King. And I believe Luffy is his close friend who would never see him wrong, and the Pirate King is the absolute strongest. Sanji destroys his raid suit, because he doesn't want to lose any more of himself and never wants to belong to Germa, as he says here. We finally cut back to Zoro versus King. Zoro gets a call from someone, which surprised him because he didn't know the snail was there. It turns out to be Sanji, and he asks Zoro to listen, and he says, "We're going to beat the Beast Pirates." And Zoro doesn't say anything initially, which I believe he understands what Sanji is saying here, what he's alluding to, but he then answers with, "Well, obviously." Sanji continues, "After the dust settles, if I'm no longer myself? And you can already begin to imagine what he's going to say next. He says, I want you to put me down. This initially sets Zoro back, as obviously no one would expect someone to say that. But without much hesitation here, he says, if it comes to that, I'll make it swift. He follows up by, now I've got something to look forward to. So that means, you better not die before then. And Sanji thanks him. Now, in my opinion, this is one of the greatest moments of respect between these two. Both know how much the other values Luffy. Zoro knows that Sanji would never allow himself to rampage around Onigashima, and Sanji knows that Zoro wouldn't let them endanger Luffy. Now, I'm not sure if he goes invisible here or he just moves at high speed, but it seems like he vanishes here, and Queen asks if this is thanks to Judge's experiments. Sanji responds saying he's all fired up, and attacks with one of the most beautiful attacks we've seen from him in a while. Hell Memories. Now, I'd love to say that he's been beaten, Queen, that is, but knowing One Piece, it's highly unlikely. So all in all, I think that we'll see something very impressive from both Sanji and Zoro. It definitely seems like both of them are reaching their climax of this arc, at least as individuals. Now I believe Sanji will have the best of both worlds. He'll get his superhuman abilities, and he'll keep his human emotions. Now for Zoro, it's not as clear as to what he could possibly achieve. We've talked about him maybe mastering his advanced conqueror's haki, like Luffy, but I've also seen theories surrounding maybe his left eye awakening, which I highly doubt. I don't think anything like that could happen, but I'm keeping an open mind. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.